Hi everybody, this is Shannon. Thanks for joining me on the channel again tonight. This is No Shelf Control. I'm coming to you tonight with another backlist book review. This one is quite backlist. It's been quite a while since I read it, but it is a book that I gave 5 stars to and that I really wanted to share with you. This particular book is called A Beautiful, Terrible Thing by Jen Waite, and I don't think it's a memoir. The subtitle is A Memoir of Marriage and Betrayal, and I just don't think it got as much press as it really deserved at the time that it was published, and so I wanted to let you know about it and see if it was something that you might be interested in reading. Let me tell you a little bit about the book. So it was published July 11th, 2017, so it has been a while, 7 years. It's published by Plume Books, and it's 272 pages. And this is the kind of memoir that just sort of drags you along. It's a little bit like a bad car wreck that you want to look away, but you just have to see what's happening. It's sort of the emotional equivalent of a Dateline special. It's not a murder, but it is definitely the story of an affair, and it is gritty and gruesome, and you actually, feel the feelings of the author. So I wanted to share this with you today, and thought that we would get into the synopsis of this particular book. So it is by Jen Waite. It is her story. And it says, what do you do when you discover that the person you've built your life around never existed? When it could never happen to me, does happen to you? These are the questions facing Jen Waite when she begins to realize that her loving husband, the father of her infant daughter, her best friend, the love of her life, fits the textbook definition of psychopath. In a raw first-person account, Waite recounts each heartbreaking discovery, every life-destroying lie, and reveals what happens once the dust finally settles on her demolished marriage. After a disturbing email sparks Waite's suspicion that her husband is having an affair, she tries to uncover the truth and rebuild trust in her marriage. Instead, she finds more lies, infidelity, and betrayal than she could have imagined. Waite obsessively analyzes her relationship, trying to find a single moment from the last 5 years that isn't part of the long con of lies and manipulation. With a dual timeline narrative structure, we see Waite's romance bud, bloom, and wither simultaneously, making the heartbreak and disbelief even more affecting. So this is a powerful emotional story about a woman who is done wrong. She has a brand new infant and finds out that her husband is cheating. And as it says, it's a dual timeline. So we both see the relationship starting to build and how she meets this man and how she falls in love with him and gets married. And we also see the implosion. So it is really good. I read it very quickly. I definitely was sort of astounded, but also, felt a little ashamed of being so involved in this woman's personal business. It's like when a friend tells you something horrible that has happened to them. You want to know, and you're listening intently and you're empathetic, but you also feel a little bit like, oh, I don't know if I should know all of this. So that was definitely how this book made me feel. I gave it 5 stars because I thought it was well written. It is not high literature, so you're not going to come away having underlined a bunch of passages because of the beauty of the writing. But it's a book that stuck with me, just because of the circumstances that this woman went through and the fact that it's a true story, that it is her memoir from her point of view. I do, as I have always shared with you, I read the reviews after I have read a book. And there were a few really negative reviews about this book, and they seem to center around the idea that there is some fat shaming and some homophobia in the book. Now, I read this in 2017, and I would have to say that my ability to identify and be sensitive to those things has grown immeasurably since 2017, but I didn't pick up on either of those things when I was reading the book. But be aware, there are a number of people who feel that fat shaming and homophobia are part of this story. And so if those are triggers or concerns for you and would make you not want to read the book, you probably want to pass on this one. I hope you enjoyed this conversation today and my review of A Beautiful, Terrible Thing. I will be back with more single book reviews with a bookstore tour that is coming up and a few surprises for you that we haven't talked about yet. So if you did enjoy this, please click like and subscribe. It always helps me to know what it is that you enjoy so that I can do more of those things. I do have a wish list at the bottom of each video description. If you're interested in gifting me with a book from that list, bookshop.org will send the book directly to me. I will read it and give you a shout out when I do the review on the channel. So I hope you will continue to come back and enjoy these reviews, book recommendations, and book hauls, and that we can continue to talk all things bookish. I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.